Imagine that the richest business lists, according to a recent report by Oxfam, reveal that 8 businessmen have wealth equal to that of the poorest half of the world's population. Oxfam described the report as an outrageous gap, especially since the wealth of 8 businessmen, equivalent to 3.6 billion people who make up the poorest half of humanity, is called for in its report to curb tax evasion and shift away from capitalism that disproportionately favors the wealthy. According to the names announced by the International Relief Foundation, Day 7 provides full data for businessmen who are in control of the wealth of hundreds of billions of 8 businessmen. Bill Gates owns $84.2 billion. Bill Gates is an American businessman and programmer. He founded Microsoft in 1975 with Paul Allen, and has the largest single share of the company's 9% share of the shares offered. According to Forbes magazine estimates, Bill Gates' wealth is $84.2 billion so far. Gates was born in Seattle, Washington, on October 28, 1955, now 61, the son of William Gates and Mary Maxwell Gates. He has a big sister, Christine, and a younger sister, Libby, his wife Melinda Gates, and his sons, Jennifer Katherine Gates, Rory John Gates, Philip Adele Gates. Carlos Slim owns $76.7 billion. Carlos Salim Halu, known as Carlos Selm, born on January 28, 1940 in Mexico City, a Mexican businessman of Lebanese origin, is a telecommunications entrepreneur. He is the head of Telemex, Telcel and America Movil. He is currently based in Mexico City with his sons Carlos Slim, Marco Antonio, Everett Patrick, Samia, Vanessa, and Joanna. He studied at the National Autonomous University of Mexico and ranked first in 2011 in the list of the richest men. The world's wealthiest man for the year 2013 with a fortune of $73 billion this year, according to the list of the richest people in the world published by the magazine Forbes US annually, was the richest man Slim in the world for 3 consecutive years. While his current wealth is $76.7 billion, Warren Buffett owns $72.5 billion. Warren is a businessman and the most famous U.S. investor on the New York Stock Exchange, chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, whose current net worth is $72.5 billion. He is the world's 3rd richest in 2014, according to Forbes magazine, with a fortune of $65.6 billion. A man in the world in 2008 with a fortune of $40 billion. Buffett was born in 1930 in Omaha, Nebraska. His family ran a legume store in Omaha between 1869 and 1969. His father Howard was a broker in the stock market and a member of the House of Representatives for the Republican Party, and his mother, Layla Stahl, was a house lady. In 1941, when Buffett became 11 years old, he began working in his father's brothel, where he bought his first shares. When he was 14, he earned $175 a month from the Washington Post. Amancio Ortega has $72.2 billion. Amancio is a Spanish businessman and founder of Inditex. He is Europe's richest businessman until the end of 2015, according to Forbes magazine, where his wealth was estimated at $65 billion and ranked 3rd on the world's wealthiest list with a current fortune of $72.2 billion. Born on March 28, 1936, Ortega is 80 years old and has 1 daughter, Sandra Ortega. Amancio appears very simple, refusing to wear a tie and preferably wearing blue jeans and shorts. Ortega announced his imminent retirement from the fast-growing fashion company Inditex, the parent company of Zara's chain of stores, and recently told a global newspaper that he would ask Inditex Vice President and Chief Executive Pablo Izalan to take a place in the management of the textile empire. Mark Zuckerberg owns $54.5 billion. He was born in White Plains, New York, USA on May 14, 1984, famous for establishing Facebook, the largest social networking site in the world. Mark established the site with his colleagues Dustin Moskowitz and Chris Hughes. Computer science, at Harvard University. Mark is the CEO of Facebook. Mark's computer interests have grown since childhood, especially in communications and games, where he developed many games and programs. The first was a communication program called Zucknet at the age of 12 years. which his father doctor used in the clinic so that the nurse can communicate with him without having to visit his room to inform him of a patient in the waiting room, and Mark's fortune is estimated at $54.5 billion. Jeff Bezos owns $45.2 billion. Jeffrey Preston Bezos, born January 12, 1964, is the founder, president, CEO and chairman of Amazon.com. Jeff graduated from Princeton University in New Jersey and worked as a financial analyst for the Shaw before founding Amazon. In 1994, Jeff Bezos was chosen as the year's person of choice for Time magazine. In 1990, before the idea of selling books online to Gabe Bezos, Jeff Bezos became the youngest vice president in the history of the Bankers Trust, and despite the attractiveness of such a position, but Bezos felt bored, prompting him to go to the company to Shaw Services financial and job search for investment opportunities in the internet, but left his job and moved to Silicon Village to establish Amazon.com, estimated at $45.2 billion. Michael Bloomberg owns $40 billion. Michael Robbins Bloomberg, born February 14, 1942, is the founder of Bloomberg Limited and the former mayor of New York City. He was elected as a candidate in the New York City elections in 2001, long after his membership in the U.S. Democratic Party, and was re-elected in the 2005 election. Bloomberg left the Republican Party in June 2007, raising speculation that he could run for president in 2008 but did not. He married Susan Brown in 1975 and his wife took him off in 1993. Michael has two daughters, Emma, Georgina Bloomberg. His fortune is estimated at $40 billion. I hope you will be interested in watching the video, and we hope to subscribe to the channel and run to get you everything new.